For this week's DIY project, I really wanted to create a coaster for my car. So I started out by measuring my cup holder using a tape measure because it gives us that flexibility that you need to get into such a tight space. And then using some scratch paper I had lying around, I marked 3 inches and then also marked the 1.5 inches because my cup holder is 3 inches across. So I just proceeded to mark 3 inches all around that center point of 1.5, so then I could unite all of those lines and try to make a circle. Now, of course, this is not a perfect science. It doesn't come out as a perfect circle because there's always like a tiny little bit of a difference. But the good thing is that once you start cutting, you can always start folding the paper and then seeing where it doesn't match, and then you can do that on different sides. So I only had to match it up on one side, the other side was fine, but you just kind of like repeat over and over until it just fits the space or the size that you're actually looking for. So then after I grabbed this, it's one of those dish drying pads. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. I got mine at a thrift shop because I really been wanting to make this for a while. So I started cutting the shape, but I didn't want to commit to cutting a small shape with such a big mat all around me. I thought I would probably end up cutting way too much. So then I cut around it and then I trimmed down the excess. I did use pins that were a little too big for the project, so I wish I would have stuck with the shorter ones because of the size of my circle. But all in all, I just had to be careful with them and move the pin heads around as needed to be able to cut out all of that excess. And I really wanted to try and be precise because this is going to be the edge. There's not going to be anything else around it. I tried making an edge for it so it would look pretty, and that was a hot mess that ended up being completely unsuccessful. So this was really the best path towards the car coasters in a way that they would be useful and they didn't look weird. So keeping it simple was definitely the way to go. I did initially pin both of the fabrics together, so thinking that it was going to detach, but perhaps because this was an older dish mat, it didn't separate at all, so I was just able to remove it because the cushioning and the microfibers on both sides were perfectly fine without the pins. So I just continued sewing, and I do like to use the last bit of thread that I can whenever I'm sewing. Just the idea of wastefulness really bothers me. So you can see here that I get right up to like the last moment, and then once I get to that point that I know I won't be able to do another one, then I put my needle through the loop that I was just sewing and then really stretch it out as much as I can so that it'll be tight, and then push back my needle a little bit to be able to cut the needle off. And then once I'm done, then the knot is there and I can just restart the process. As I was sewing the coaster, my main concern was just grabbing both of the sides in a way that you couldn't see all that foam in between. So I inserted the needle through the middle so that then I could hide that bigger knot on the inside. And then I just kept sewing back and forth until it was completed and I got to the edge. This project was definitely not as time consuming as some of the other ones that I've done, but I wanted to keep it simple to just do the function I really needed it for. As summer approaches, I really enjoy having cold drinks, and having it all just puddle at the bottom really bothers me, makes it really hard to clean my car. So these coasters will be perfect for the summer. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this project, be sure to watch this video right here on how to upcycle a dish mat.